Hello and welcome to the Patreon exclusive edition of Black, White, and Red All Over. I'm Victor Dandridge.
Ryan Seymour.
And we are going to spizoil the hizek out of Web of Venom, Carnage Born. You can't not read this.
Yeah.
It's Donny Cates, so
And
that's a yes. Offer it.
I'm not sure Marvel knew what they were doing when they gave him the keys to the Venom car. Because it's not like he's just making crappy one shots and miniseries.
No,
like he's
redefining.
expanding. Yeah, the universe of the symbiote and all of the connected characters is now much richer.
Yes, to the point where, honestly, if his stuff had come out well before the announcement of the Venom movie, I don't think anybody would question. Oh, how are they going to do this without Spider-Man? You don't need no spiders with Donny Cates. Like, Donny Cates has crafted a mythos that is beyond just Peter Parker wishing for a new suit. You know what I mean? Like, he's built some stuff.
It's an alien race.
Yes.
With deities and culture and it's so much next level.
Yeah. Hive mind, like this whole thing. It's crazy. All right, so let's run down this intro, shall we? A psychopathic serial killer and former cellmate of Eddie Brock, Cletus Cassidy was known for his brutality and violence. I think that is an understated sentence. Like, you're like, oh, he's known for it. No.
He's a serial killer.
Yeah, like that's like that's like saying Freddy Krueger is a known advocate for anti-sleep aids. No.
Jeffrey Dahmer's a cook.
Yeah, that's not
his 7-layer bean dip.
Oh!
No. This is not how it works.
No. That's a undersell. His capacity for cruelty only grew when he bonded with an aggressive alien symbiote that gave him the ability to construct bladed weapons out of the symbiote's living tissue. Deadlier than ever, Cletus became the killer known as Carnage. Now, this doesn't showcase like his intense interest in eating people, which I think you have to address.
Yeah. And
Carnage will eat you.
And they kind of do, because there's the scene with the bone.
That's later. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
All right, so we start off with an origin story, if you will. The birth of Cletus Cassidy. And death of Cletus Cassidy?
Yeah.
First death, as they describe it?
Yeah.
So, literally, Cletus was born in this world with his own umbilical cord strangling him, and 19 minutes after his birth, dies for the first time. Now, how he comes back? Unknown, because he's literally born in an insane asylum.
Yeah, and it looks like there's no assistance given to his mom.
No. She's literally doing this on her own.
In a padded cell.
Yeah. Which, wow.
Can't be sanitary.
No, because you can't change those pads.
Yeah.
They're built in. It's part of the wall.
Ugh.
Spray it, but it's going to soak in, okay? Like, that's in there. And Cletus says that he remembers dying.
Which is really crazy.
Yeah.
But I almost give it a little bit of credence, just as there's what you can't see in the camera.
Right.
Is that null, like, red spiral pattern
It's creepy.
is taking over his eye.
Yes. And basically what he says is that he remembers he was in hell.
Yeah.
And so to come back from that, even at such an early age, literally newborn, scarred him forever.
Yeah.
And for him, his notion of life is this cage.
Yeah.
It's this place that, is constraining and holding us in. And so for him, all the people that he's killed, he's not killing them.
He's setting them free.
Whoa.
Which in a serial killer thought process, it makes perfect sense.
It really does. And that's the scariest part. Like, you're rationalizing his criminal mind.
Yeah.
Not even the Joker has the benefit of this sense of saying, well, okay, to him, this is what this is. People are like, oh, well, he's really smart and he's ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
This guy has rational crazy.
Yeah, it's this. His nihilism is so fine-tuned. It's just, I don't want to agree, like, in a weird sense with him. Like, okay, that makes sense.
No. That's scary good.
Yeah.
Scary good. So as he goes through life, becoming this serial killer, which ends up bringing him to jail, where he is playing with
a shank, shiv,
on himself.
Yeah, that's the messed up part.
It really is like stabbing his own hand. For why? He looks bored otherwise.
Yeah,
I guess.
Like if you had it, because he's playing in the blood. Oh.
Yeah. And while this is happening, Eddie Brock is sitting on the bunk underneath.
Yeah.
Because Eddie is a bottom bunk. I'm gonna just let that ride. So Eddie's down there waiting for the symbiote to come break him out of jail.
Yeah.
And it does, and the symbiote gets onto Cletus, and I love this little bit here that it mixed with the blood, and that's why Carnage is red.
Yeah, and that mixture, that symbolism, we will come back to. Later.
Yes, we will. This is probably one of the most gnarliest pictures of Carnage I've seen ever.
Yeah.
It's visceral. It's full of action.
There's this
awesome.
mania in because it's not just Cletus. It's like Cletus from the nose up, but looking,
the Carnage smile. And,
yeah.
That had to be a fun one to do.
Yeah.
Like I refuse to call myself an artist, but even I have to admit that had to be fun to draw.
Yeah.
Like really. But all of this is being explained to like a cult like following is.
Yeah, everybody's got the hoods and the cloaks, and you really can't see under their faces.
The candles,
and like stuff playing on screens in the background. So like they've done their research. Their worship of Cassidy as some kind of supernatural entity who gives a truth and vision in this like life and abyss and whatnot.
That's right. And what's interesting is like if you look at it in this context, Cassidy is the Christ figure where Null, the symbiote god, is God.
Yeah.
So through Cletus Cassidy is where Null will return.
Yeah.
It's fierce. I mean,
and it makes once again it makes sense in the weirdest because Cassidy keeps coming back, and so that cycle of resurrection mixed with what we'll find out in a few pages. Yes, he's going to be I'm trying to think of the convergence.
There you go. That's perfect.
Of those two characters.
Yes. I love the detail real quick of Null's dragon and that it was Thor who helped destroy it. It's rained down and has been found.
Yeah.
You know, the bits and pieces have been found by the followers.
Yeah.
And their goal again is to revive Null.
Bad idea.
Null that's just bad.
Yeah.
He's
not
just bad.
Yeah.
So they have this great plan that this is how this is going to happen. They're going to bring back Cassidy with Null, and somehow this great symbiote empire is going to reign.
Yeah.
And
because what we've found is he keeps coming back.
Yes.
And they kind of get into it where there's always going to be at least one of the two.
Right.
And if there's one,
then there
the
is
other.
the other. And it's kind of interesting. Like, so one of the times that they talk about his dying, it was through the Sentry killing him.
Yeah.
And the Sentry also has that duality. As long as there's Sentry, there is Void. So I have to wonder if, like, that's where, you know, some of these ideas are coming from. Because again, he's been brought back since even, you know, Sentry killed him.
Yeah.
And he was currently residing in space.
Yeah.
I mean, curled up in a ball, froze.
Yeah.
But the symbiote itself was still alive.
Yeah.
You know. This is the part that gets crazy.
Yeah.
Like, in order to revive Cletus, the symbiote manages to push itself back into Earth orbit and re-entry.
Yeah.
Now, for the longest time, things like fire and ultrasonics hurt symbiotes.
Yeah.
But due to this Darkhold curse, those things don't hurt it anymore.
So it's shielding Cassidy as he's falling back to Earth, which
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Obviously, the heat and intensity of it still has an effect. I mean, it literally burns off Cletus's face and features.
And for like a few times looking at the panel, I thought he was like in mud.
Right.
But he's actually missing the bottom part of his legs.
Yeah, like he's done. He's done. Like, it's burnt off, like, literal body parts.
Yeah.
He lands in a big crater, and the symbiote, I mean, has done its job.
Yeah.
It has sacrificed itself in order to get him back on Earth. He's burnt. I mean, he looks like what Deadpool's butt looks like
If you could,
after.
if you could see Deadpool's hernia, not
Yeah,
hernias,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
hemorrhoids,
yeah. Yes,
you'd be like,
yes.
oh,
That's what Cletus Cassidy looks like right now.
But in that crater, there's that spiral pattern.
There
again.
it is, like it's ordained. So locals found him. They called the police through dental records.
Yeah.
They're able to figure out that that's Cletus Cassidy.
And that sets off alarms at every organization.
Everything, because again, Cletus Cassidy is a known killer. Okay, can't die, won't die, keeps coming back. Here he is, legless, burnt all to pieces,
Somehow
still alive.
Yeah.
Scary.
FBI, CIA, Tinder, everybody's
Grinder,
after.
like they're all on.
Yeah.
It, okay, they're all like, whoa, what is
Something's
this?
going on.
Let's find out. And this cult intervenes on this caravan, and through some brutal goodness,
Looks like a lot of machine guns.
they take him. They take him back. What I love is that they've got him in this stasis pod with his name on it. Like there might be another pod somewhere,
Right?
Like that somebody else is in. Like it says C. Cassidy, and you're like, as opposed to whom? Like,
Oh crap! We accidentally grabbed Lyle Zeta. Like no, there's only
we
many
meant to
choices?
go back, get the other one,
Yeah.
get the other one. So they have him in this containment piece, and now they have like one of the remnants of Null.
Yeah.
And the plan is to feed it because their notion is that the symbiote, having been upon you, leaves a trail. It leaves a trace of itself, and so this essence of Null will feed off of the essence of Carnage and regrow.
Yeah. So Noel will once again walk the earth through Cletus. Nothing can go wrong with this plan.
No, not at all. Not at all. They feed it in.
Yeah.
It starts to bond.
Things do not go well through the screen.
He's clearly fighting his way out.
Yeah.
Like there's no two ways about it. When he does reveal himself, this being now I've seen this being previously.
Yeah, because it looks like the evil symbiotes from Kate's run, but
Venom, right?
there is a major difference in that there's the Carnage type red,
Right.
kind of enveloping it. There's something different going on. Like
Right.
it isn't just
This isn't just the Null symbiote form. And what's crazy is it starts fighting. Like the Carnage symbiote is like, no, I'm back. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
You know, this is how this is gonna be. And it's like literally like they're fighting over which one's gonna be dominant. Is it gonna be Cletus and Carnage or is it Null?
Yeah. And because the way the art's like, it's weird. You have to see it to fully
you gotta
appreciate
see
how
this.
how it is.
Good. It's crazy good. It seems to stop with Null seemingly winning.
Yeah.
Until.
Yeah. So the leader of the cult walks up and begins explaining to what she thinks is Null or the Null type entity, like it's it's so good to have you back. We're here for your teachings. We can offer you this and that, and then Dark Carnage eats her.
Yeah. It looks okay. So I got the impression that she was giving herself to him, but I don't think that he was supposed to do this.
Yeah.
I feel like
because he's pulling after he's done, he's pulling the spinal cord out of his mouth like he just got done like defleshing like a drumstick.
Like he. She obviously had a symbiote on her at some point.
Yeah.
So she is someone in the vast realm of symbiote bearers and admits that she has some of that essence in her. And so in the same way, I think, this Null Carnage thing was supposed to find that essence and draw it out.
Yeah. And it did.
It did.
Not in the way they were hoping.
Literally sucked out the marrow.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's unfortunate for her.
Yeah. But he just keeps going.
And all of a sudden, it's enough to truly feed the Carnage symbiote to overpower the Null side.
Yeah.
And the color changes.
Yeah.
The red envelopes everything. I mean, like moving off of the chest, over the head.
Yeah.
And then all the way down, he's Carnage.
what blows my mind is how nobody's running.
Nope.
Like that's
Nope.
those are your that's your moment, guys. Run.
That was your and they're watching with the intent of, oh, well, this is kind of what we thought was going to happen,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Like this is
good.
No.
This is good. This
No.
is no.
not at all.
No.
And they erroneously give the plan that there are so many people that have had the symbiote.
Yeah.
And if you get it all, then you will be whole.
Yeah.
You'll be reborn.
And
And
when you like, and,
that's a list.
yeah, because they've got all these giant screens and whatnot, and one of the screens has various people that have had symbiote interactions, and it is a who's who of fights that I want to see.
Oh my gosh.
I don't.
Yeah.
There does not need to be a story for like. Let me see. Carnage versus Toxin.
Yeah.
I don't need a backstory.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Let's just watch it. I just want to see that happen. Carnage versus Red Hulk.
That could be pretty sweet.
That sounds definitely. There's going to be a lot of red in that book.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
red.
I see.
Honestly, Carnage versus Captain America
That'd be
looks
good fight.
awesome. Like
Yeah.
that, I'm like, that
Red
could go good.
Red Goblin versus Carnage. That'd be fierce.
I see that going all kinds of bad.
Yeah.
All kinds of bad. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff here that I think could be really, really cool. I can't wait to see how this is going to play out.
And this was a one shot,
What?
right? But like clearly Cates has plans because talking about
God,
the
it does. It says published as a one-shot.
yeah. Yeah, so there's got to be more. I don't know when, I don't know how soon they can get it out, but
He's got to appear in Venom, too.
right?
And that's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
What?
Good times.
Such good times, man. This was fun. This was, like, I literally was like, eh.
Yeah. And then Cates.
But this was great.
Yeah.
Trust in Cates, man.
Cates has got some good stuff.
He's low key. I'm saying he's going to be the future of Marvel. Like he is going to be, in a lot of ways. If he's not already, if you don't call him that already,
Yeah.
the future of Marvel. This guy,
right there.
just saying. So, the House of Ideas has got some good stuff. This cover too, man.
Yeah.
Peep this cover.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Open order variant cover is really, really gorgeous.
That's awesome. Get it. Trust.
Yep.
As always, thank you guys for being our Patreon members. We couldn't do this without you. And please tell friends the holiday season is upon us. Buy somebody some Patreonage. Go for it.
Give the gift of us.
Yes. Because we're like a symbiote. We'll get in you.